Hi, I'm Sandy Kreps, owner of the blog Modern Simplicity, and this is Simplify and Declutter Your Chaos. Today I'm going to show you how to make organizers for your sewing room. Okay, for this sewing room organizer, you're going to start with just a box. Now you can choose any box you want. I chose this particular box because it is the exact size that fits on the shelf that it's going to go on in my sewing room, since I don't have a full sewing room. So go with whatever your space is and whatever box works in your space. So measure first, that way you get it right the first time. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is you're going to get some foam like this. This is a 2-inch foam, and you're going to cut it to fit your container. I've cut mine to fit so that it would fit right here along the short side, like this. So to make it pretty, and so that it doesn't lose all these little pieces of styrofoam, you're just going to want to cover it in a little bit of fabric like this. Maybe use a little bit of rubber cement to hold it down, and then I also took a couple stick pins to just stick in the fabric to make sure they hold in place. Okay, while that's drying, you're going to take a long dowel rod. This is a 1/4-inch dowel rod. Cut it to size for as tall as you need it to be. Again, I cut mine so that they would fit perfectly on the shelf that I'm going to put this in. As many as you need. I've got 8 here. After this is dry, you're going to go ahead and you're going to stick it inside of your box. You may have to push it down a little bit because it's going to be snug, but that's fine because you don't want it moving around anyway. Now, I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut just a little bitty hole through the fabric so that my dowel rod will stick right inside of it like that. What we're going to use these for is for taking all of our different threads and bobbins and putting them on there. So you can fit them in as close or as far apart as you need to, as long as you can still get all of your spools on. Okay, now from there we have all this extra space, and of course we have a lot of other stuff that we've got to get in there. First off, you're going to have to pare down all of your sewing stuff to just what you use and love. You knew I was going to say it at some point. Then you're going to pick out some little organizer bins. I like square ones because they take advantage of all the space. And you're going to get as many as you need to store what you've got. I started with a big one so that I have a good tall place to hang all of my scissors. And I also have this little tiered organizer that holds pins and thimbles, things like that. And it could slide right in here. Then I'm going to fill the rest of the space in with these little containers right here. So I'm going to start off one that's just got all of my elastics, trims, patches, things like that. It's going to fit right there. I've got another one here that's got some extra sewing machine needles and things like that. It fits right in there. Another one that you can stick in just your measuring tapes, marking chalks, things like that. It'll slide in, and you notice all of these slide in pretty compact together so that there's not an extra space. This one just has all of my little snaps and grommets and things. Again, fits in right there. Now, I have a little space left over between this one and this block. So I'm going to gather up the patterns that I have that I plan to work on pretty soon. And those actually just fit in nicely right between there, like that. It also kind of makes a barrier so that my threads and bobbins stay protected and don't get unwound. Okay, next I'm going to show you my favorite part of this organizer. Most of the time when I'm doing sewing, it's often just sewing on buttons, getting those little mending jobs done, so I don't need to carry this whole thing around with me unless I'm doing a major sewing job. So I put all the necessities in this mason jar. You can see that I just filled it with threads, got a little pair of scissors and a seam ripper, just the little things you need, black, white, the basics. And then I glued on top of it with a strong adhesive my pin cushion, and it's just glued right on top. Fits on like it normally would. Then when I'm doing some mending, I can just grab this and go, and get all my mending done while I'm watching TV. But even better, when I'm done with it, I slide it right here in my organizer, and it keeps my pin cushion right here at height so that I can reach it and it stays easily accessible. So all you got to do now is load up the rest of your bobbins and pin cushions and you're ready to go.